when I clicked on the thing on where it takes me to the water cycle research, I didn't know it took me there because nothing popped up there.
I
But when I clicked
oh,
on something else,
okay, so watch what we
something else.
do. So you have to, when you click on it, it gives you another
Yeah,
thing.
I clicked on that, but I clicked on that, but it didn't.
Okay, we'll try it
That
again.
didn't pop.
Okay, go ahead and try it again today. See what you can do. But it should
Okay.
just do that. It should come up to another thing to click on, and then when you click on that, it takes you to that other website for me. All right, thanks for letting me know, my friend. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started on today's work. We have a big assignment today, so I hope everybody ate their Wheaties or their whatever you needed to eat this morning to get that brain woken up, because we have an assessment today, my friends. All right, so here are our learning targets. I can determine the main ideas and supporting details of a text read aloud. So today I'm going to be reading some information to you, some pages to you aloud, and you are going to be asked to think about and the main idea and supporting details. If you happen to have some paper nearby, I know we didn't send you with spirals or anything, but if you happen to have a piece of paper, even the back of something, so you can jot some ideas down, you might want to grab that, so that you can have all of your work today will be, the test will be on a Google form, but it might be to your advantage today to go ahead and jot some ideas down. So if you have a piece of paper nearby, run and grab that real quick, because that'll help you a lot trying to remember things. You will also at some we'll be able to use the text to answer some of the questions on the test, but the first part is to be read aloud. So you're using those listening skills that we've been practicing for the last couple of weeks. We will also make sure that we know what the function of a noun and a pronoun is. And so we'll review that real quick before we get to the test. And then we will use the text to answer some questions. I know you did not take your book home of One Well, but I have the text available to you. I'd rather you not look at that yet. We'll do that together. We'll open those together, and you will have the chance to look at the text as well as the Google form, so you can go back and forth and toggle between those two spots so that you can answer those questions. All right, that's our plan today. Use those brains. All things that we've done before, right? All things we've done before. So hopefully everybody's back. They've got their paper. If they went to go get their paper, hopefully you are back now. I saw some people run away, and yep, I saw. Oh, writer, good job. I saw some people run away, and then I saw some people come back with some paper. So nice job. All right. So let's really quickly review. So if we were in our classroom, yes, Miss Ellie, can I help you? Miss Ellie has her hand raised.
I couldn't figure out what book to read.
What book to read? You mean the one for the?
Yeah, on the
Okay, well, you just click it. I assigned it to you in Epic. It says a drop of water, and I assigned it to you in Epic. If you go into Epic, it's assigned to you. You go up to the right-hand sign where it says your mailbox. If you click on your mailbox, the book is inside there. It's called a drop around the world. It's a really cool book. In fact, hey friends, those of you who really read that book, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, because I had a lot of friends who did a really great job on that assignment. Lennox enjoyed it. Good job. Mr. Ben, good job. Madison, okay, nice. A lot of us, okay, some of us have a medium thumb, all right. Those of you who read the whole thing, I can tell you did a good job. So nice job. All right, so here's our parts of speech. Miss Ellie, did I answer your question? It's in your assigned books. Okay, good. All right, parts of speech. So if we were in the room, or that we would have a lovely anchor chart to remind us. It looks a lot like this. It says noun, a word that names a person, place, thing, or idea. And some of the words that we added to it were, so the idea was like love, right? It's not something you can hold, but it like, or experiment is a noun that is more of an idea. Things you can touch, like a thing or a rock and a frog, an amphibian, right? A person, Mrs. Aubin, she's also a teacher. So the word teacher is a noun. The words Mrs. Aubin are a noun. That's a proper noun because it's a particular person. A place like school is a noun. Also, West Jeff Elementary is a particular place, so it is also a noun. It's a proper noun. So we can have particular things, and we can also have more general things that go like dog, or we could have, or my dog Buddy. Buddy is a noun. Dog is a noun. A pronoun is a word that replaces that noun. So I could use the word he for Buddy, and that word that he would replace the word Buddy. I could say he is over there sleeping, and that would be what does he represent? He represents Buddy. We is a good example of a pronoun. Our class, right? Our class is, when I say we are going to do this today, I mean our classes. She, I'm referring to Mrs. If I talk about Mrs. Aubin, I might use the word she. When I'm referring to myself, I would use a word like I or me. And then if we're talking about, oh, well, when you're in fourth grade, I might be referring to the fourth grade as the word they. So it's a word that represents another word. It replaces a noun. So if we look at our example that we did last week, I'm going to see if I can manage to do two things at one time. See if I can get both of these. Nope, maybe not. All right. So I was gonna try to see if I could. I'm just gonna have to type them in there. All right, that's okay. I had my dock camera so I can do some things. So here's our sentence from last week. And because it is all connected, how we treat the water in the well will affect every species of the planet, including us, now and for years to come. Who remembers what one of the nouns was that we had from that sentence? What was one of the nouns that we had from that sentence? Looking for some friends with their hands up. Mr. Lennox, give me one, please.
Planet.
Very good. Planet. Awesome. What's another one? Another noun, person, place, or thing. Isabella.
Species.
Species. Very good. Nice. Another one. Cole.
Water.
Water. Very nice. Miss Lyric, do you see another one?
I forgot where it was.
That's okay. I appreciate the effort. Surnay, do you see another noun? Oh, well, I saw your mouth move.
Do a mute.
Yeah.
Well,
very good. Excellent. Oops. I need to hit my enter. There we go. Water. Well, very nice. Any other ones? Let's see. And because it's all connected, how we treat the water in the well will affect every species of the planet. Oh, there's one more. I had to peek. Sorry, I had to go back and look. I see one more. Do I see anybody who's got that one other idea? Josh Carter.
I just forgot.
All right, no worries. How about Abby?
Source.
Well, source is indeed one of the, it's not in that sentence, but you are correct. And that source is a noun. Very good. Gavin.
Years.
Very good. And this is what we call a plural noun because it's more than 1 year, it's years. And that's a really good example of a noun that is of something that's an idea, right? We know a year is 365 days. We know it's a time, but can't touch it, right? So that's a really good example of an idea. Excellent. Okay, so that you've got your nouns. Person, place, thing, or idea. Now think about pronouns. Let's add in our pronouns. There are several of them in here as well. So think about, we're going to write what the pronoun is and what it stands for. So who can give me, Miss Evie?
We.
We, very good. And who is we?
Us.
Right, us humans, right? Humans. Very good. When we say, yep, we is definitely humans. What's another one? I saw Charlie Van Rickley's hand up. Hopefully. Oh, and now he's gone. Oh, there he is. Charlie, is there another one besides we? Yeah.
Us.
Us. Good. And who is us? It's those humans again, huh? Yeah, it's us again. We and us both stand for the human race, right? Very good. All right, I have a couple more hands raised. I'm trying to find you. All right, who else has? Oh, I lied. All right. Oh no. Max Fox. What's another one?
All.
Okay, so all is in this case is not going to be a pronoun because it doesn't replace another word. So we're just focusing on pronouns, but all connected. I see your point. I see why you could maybe think there, but because all would represent something, the bigger picture, right? So it was a really good try. Gabe, what do you think, bud?
Species.
So species is going to be our noun. That's going to be our noun. Humans and all those other animals and plants, right, are those species, but that's not going to be our pronoun. A pronoun is going to be one of those little words that replaces another word. I'll give you a hint. There's definitely another one. I promise. I'll read it again. And because it is all connected, how we treat the water in the well will affect every species of the planet, including us, now and for years to come. So we have we and us, and there's one more tiny word that replaces something else. Looking for hands. Looking for hands. I'll give you a hint. It's in the beginning. Lila M. It. Very good. And what does it represent?
It represents the water.
Water. Very good. The water in the well, right? Because it is all connected, because the water is all connected. And the way you can tell what the word is that goes instead of the pronoun is you could actually fit that word back in. And because water is all connected, how we treat, and then we can keep going on. But if we put that in, same thing as how humans treat the water in the well will affect, and we can put that word back in. Today on today's test, you are going to have, they're going to ask you what a noun is, what a pronoun is, and what one of those pronouns represents. I'm going to go right back to this one more time. A noun is a word that names a person, place, thing, or idea. And a pronoun is a word that replaces that person, place, thing, or idea with a shorter, quick word like he, she, it, they, those kind of words. Okay. All right. So we're ready. Hopefully you grab that paper, because this is what we're going to do. Mrs. Harrison is going to read the text. Here it is. It's in the book. I know you don't have the book, but you're going to I just want you to listen. I don't want you to be reading anything. I just want you to listen. If you have your piece of paper, however, this is what you're kind of jotting down. You're not turning this in. This is clearly just for note taking. So if you look at Mrs. Harrison, do you guys remember this exact thing here? Except for instead of pages 6 and 7, it's pages 8 and 9. So main idea today in the test, it's going to ask you what the main idea is, and it's going to ask you what the supporting details are. So you don't have to write the little sections on your paper. Just when you think you know what the main idea is, jot some ideas down. When you think, and I'm going to read this 3 times. So don't bother trying to write supporting details yet. All right. I'm going to tell you when to do that. But these are the idea. This is the thought process you're thinking about as I read. All right. Mr. Robert, you ready? You ready? Got your listening ears on? All right. Good job. Miss Sunny, are you ready? All right, good. I'm just looking for my friends who look like, okay, make sure you're listening. Put those listening ears on. Here we go. Recycling water in the well is the name of this page. The water you drank today may have rained down on the Amazon rainforest 5 years ago. 100 years ago, it may have been steam escaping a teapot in India. 10,000 years ago, it may have flowed in an underground river. 100,000 years ago, it may have been frozen solid in a glacier. And 100 million years ago, it may have quenched the thirst of a dinosaur. The amount of water on Earth doesn't change. There's no more water now than when the dinosaurs walked the Earth. The same water just keeps going through a cycle over and over again. This constant movement of water is called the water cycle. During the water cycle, water evaporates from oceans, lakes, rivers, ponds, and puddles, even from plants and animals. It rises into the air as water vapor. As the water vapor rises, it cools into tiny droplets. This is called condensation. These droplets form clouds. Gradually, clouds collect more and more water droplets. The average white cloud weighs about twice as much as a blue whale. When water droplets get too heavy, they fall from the clouds in the form of hail, snow, or rain. This precipitation returns to the oceans, lakes, and rivers. It also seeps into the soil and down into the groundwater. Year after year, water continuously circulates through the water cycle. One year, an area of rainforest the size of a football field pumps over 75,000 liters of water vapor into the atmosphere, more than enough to fill a backyard swimming pool. It takes about 1 million tiny water droplets to make just one raindrop. Why are the oceans salty? Rivers flow into the sea, collecting salt from rocks and soil and adding it to the ocean. As ocean water evaporates, the salt is left behind. Okay, do you have that paper? Think about, what do you think the main idea, the gist of that whole page? Write down a couple ideas. What do you think most of that, what did the author really want you to get one idea about? Just jot down a couple words. It doesn't have to be a complete sentence, but just jot down a couple of words of what you think the author wanted you to learn from those pages.
What page is it?
You don't have any pages. You are just writing this down. There's no page to go with it. This right here on the dot camera is the idea. You're just trying to find out, you're just trying to think about the main idea right now. You don't need to worry about any pages. You're just listening and gathering your brain ideas. Okay, I'm going to read it again. This time, Finn, I want you to be thinking of, are you with me, Finn? All right. This time, I want you to think about what details are supporting your idea of what the main idea is. What are you hearing? Again, I'm not expecting sentences. Just jot down maybe some phrases. You are going to get to see the text later, I promise. But I just want you listening for right now. All right, I'm going to read it again. If you're still writing down your main ideas, keep going. Recycling water in the well. The water you drank today may have rained down on the Amazon rainforest 5 years ago. 100 years ago, it may have been steam escaping a teapot in India. 10,000 years ago, it may have flowed in an underground river. 100,000 years ago, it may have been frozen solid in a glacier. And 100 million years ago, it may have quenched the thirst of a dinosaur. The amount of water on Earth doesn't change. There's no more water now than when dinosaurs walked the Earth. The same water just keeps going through a cycle over and over again. This constant movement of the water is called the water cycle. During the water cycle, water evaporates from oceans, lakes, rivers, ponds, and puddles, even from plants and animals, and it rises into the air as water vapor. As water vapor rises, it cools into tiny water droplets. This is called condensation. These droplets form clouds. Gradually, clouds collect more and more water droplets. The average white cloud weighs about twice as much as a blue whale. When water droplets get too heavy, they fall from the clouds in the form of hail, snow, or rain. This precipitation returns to oceans, lakes, and rivers. It also seeps into the soil and down into the groundwater. Year after year, water continuously circulates through the water cycle. In 1 year, an area of the rainforest the size of a football field pumps over 75,000 liters of water vapor into the atmosphere, more than enough to fill the backyard swimming pool. It takes about 1 million tiny water droplets to make just one raindrop. Why are the oceans salty? Rivers flow into the sea, collecting salt from rocks and soil, adding it to the ocean. As ocean water evaporates, the salt is left behind. Okay, did that give you, did you hear some ideas? Cooper, did you hear some ideas that backed up your idea of the main idea? Okay, good. You're usually pretty good at this. So jot down some ideas that backed up your idea. I'm going to read it one more time. And then I'm going to show you the work that you're going to do and give you the opportunity to see the text yourself. All right. I want you to listen to it one more time. You can, again, jot some ideas down as you're going. Here we go. Recycling the water in the well. The water you drank today may have rained down on the Amazon rainforest 5 years ago. 100 years ago, it may have been steam escaping a teapot in India. 10,000 years ago, it may have flowed in an underground river. 100,000 years ago, it may have been frozen solid in a glacier. And 100 million years ago, it may have quenched the thirst of a dinosaur. That's pretty cool. The amount of water on Earth doesn't change. There's no more water now than when dinosaurs walked the Earth. The same water just keeps going through a cycle over and over again. This constant movement of the water is called the water cycle. During the water cycle, water evaporates from oceans, lakes, rivers, ponds, and puddles, even from plants and animals. It rises into the air as water vapor. As water vapor rises, it cools into tiny water droplets. This is called condensation. These droplets form clouds. Gradually, clouds collect more and more water droplets. The average white cloud weighs about twice as much as a blue whale. That's interesting, isn't it? Usually we don't think of clouds as having weight, but that's an interesting fact. When water droplets get too heavy, they fall from the clouds in the form of hail, snow, or rain. This precipitation returns to oceans, lakes, and rivers. It also seeps into the soil and down into the groundwater. Year after year, water continuously circulates through the water cycle. Okay, and then there are those 3 more facts that they're to the side, and you'll see them when you get to see the text part. In 1 year, the area of rainforest the size of a football field pumps over 75,000 liters of water vapor into the atmosphere, more than enough to fill a backyard swimming pool. It takes about 1 million tiny water droplets to make just one raindrop. Why are the oceans salty? Rivers flow into the sea, collecting salt from rocks and soil and adding it to the ocean. As the ocean water evaporates, the salt is left behind. So that ocean's getting saltier and saltier. Okay. I see Haley calendar is looking really thoughtful there. She's using her thoughtfulness. All right, this is your, if you have any more ideas, supporting details that you want to add on your paper, again, you don't have this piece of paper. This is just exactly like the one we've been practicing. And if we were taking this in class, you'd have a paper that looks like this and you'd be jotting things down. Okay. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show it to you. So nobody click on anything yet, but I want to show you what the next part is. Okay. So if we go to our, just watch for right now. Just watch. Miss Abby, do you have a question?
What space are we writing that in?
You're not writing. I just asked you if you had a piece of paper that you could jot your ideas on. If you don't, then you'll just work it into today's assignment. So if you look here, it says EL Module 4, Unit 1, Lesson 5 for today. So I'm going to show you inside it. We have some different things. So if you look, you're going to have 3 things down here. Okay, you're going to have your Google form. This is your test that you're going to take. This is the Google Slides. These are the things I just talked about and showed you. This here is the actual page that you're going to click on and have as a tab for your assignment today. So I just wanted you to listen because that helps you gather your ideas, but you can actually go back and refer to the text yourself. And now you should be able to know all of the vocabulary because Mrs. Harrison read it to you 3 times. So here it's called Recycling Water in the Well. And here's that page that I did. And in the test, it's going to ask you about an illustration. Does everybody see the picture that's at the bottom of page 8? Here it says page 8. Here's your picture. So when the question you get says, look at the illustration on the bottom of page 8, this is what they're asking you to look at, not the other pictures, okay? Just that one. And then here, remember I said there are 3 more facts and there's another picture. And as you scroll down, so there's another 3rd page just because it cut off a little, the 2nd page cuts off a little bit. So that 3rd page is just a little farther down so you can see all of page 8 and 9. So this, you're going to open this so that you can read it. But in the assignment, I'm going to go back. You are also going to have your Google form. So when you click on a Google form, the Google form will come up and it will open another tab. All right, so you can click back and forth. You're going to be able to have the Zoom open, but you won't be listening or seeing that for the test. But here it says Module 4, Unit 1, Mid-Unit Assessment, Part 1. It's actually Part 1 and 2 because I just smushed them together from yesterday and today. So don't worry about the fact that it says Part 1. So it says use the text on page 8 and 9 of One Well. So if you are a remote student, you can look at the actual book on page 8 and 9. The rest of us are going to have to use page 8 and 9 on the assignment, all right, to go back to. It's going to ask you what your name is, and then it has some questions. So I'm just going to briefly talk about those, and then I'm going to let you guys get started. So what is one of the main ideas of this passage? Choose the best answer. And you'll notice that you have some points here. It is going to take, once you click on something, it is going to give you a score. And it's going to grade it as you, it's going to grade the test for you, okay? So what is one of the main ideas? So you're going to read those 4 and decide which one is the best. Now, that doesn't mean that you might not think that some of them were ideas that they had in the passage, but what was the main idea of the passage, okay? Then it asks which 3 details from the passage support that main idea. So if you jotted some ideas down, you might actually find them in this list. So this one's worth 3 points. You're going to choose 3. All right, there's 6 to choose from, but choose the 3 that support that idea that you picked on up here, okay? All right, the next question says, what does the prefix re mean in the word recycling. And if you're not sure, you can go back to the text, find the word recycling, and see if that helps you. But prefix, remember, is the part in the beginning of the word. Pre means before, so the beginning of the word. And what does it mean? Which of those four? Then it asks you to read the sentence from page 8, except for I list it here, but you can go back to your page if you'd like to find it in the text. But here it says, the same water just keeps going through a cycle over and over again. And then it asks which sentence below uses the word cycle in the same way as this sentence. Okay, so think about what cycle means in this sentence and pick the sentence where cycle has a similar meaning. Then it says, which detail in the text helps you understand the meaning of the word condensation? Again, you can go back to the text, find the word condensation, and see which of those will help you. The next one says, what does the diagram at the bottom of page 8? Oh, that's what I was telling you about, right? That's what I was showing you on the bottom of page 8. What does that help the reader understand? And there's 4 options. The last couple ones have to do with nouns and pronouns, just like we practiced. What is a noun? You're going to pick what a noun is. What is a pronoun? You're going to pick that one. And then it said, then there's a short answer. On page 8, in the first paragraph, what word does the pronoun it replace in the paragraph? So when you go back, you're going to, it actually has the word it several times, but it has the same meaning each time. All right. So you're like, I don't know, there's a lot of it's. Well, it stands for the same thing every single time in that paragraph. So no matter what you put there, as long as it makes sense back in the and replacing in that word, you're good. Okay. See, a lot of people are moving around their houses. Oh my goodness, you're making me dizzy over here. All right, so this is what I would like everybody to do. Oh, and by the way, Mrs. Aubin and I will get your answers pretty quickly once you submit. Remember at the bottom, you have to submit your answers. And we're all going to stay on the Zoom until you are finished. And then when you are finished, we'd like you to either let Mrs. Aubin know in chat, or you can tell me out loud, and I can check to see how your what your score was. If your score, so there's 11 points for this assessment. If your score is lower than that, we might ask you to take it again. All right, to go back and try again. So if you, because it's, you know, it's a little bit hard. Some of us don't have the books and right in front of us. You might have to toggle back and forth. So we want you to be able to do the best job you can. So Mrs. Aubin and I might ask you to look it over again, especially if you go a little too fast the first time. Okay, so what I would like everybody to do is I'd like everybody to go ahead and open another tab. You can leave, don't leave Zoom. Just open another tab and go to classwork. Find today's assignment.
Too, Mrs. Harrison.
Sorry, say that again, Mrs. Aubin.
We have some questions. I don't know if you want to address them now
please,
or
yes. Yeah, let's take them now. You bet. I just didn't see any of them. Thank you. Who's got the question?
Sunny and Eddie.
All right, Sunny. I'm trying to find you, my friend.
On PDF.
Oh, I wish I could hear you. I'm so sorry. Can you say it again, sweetie?
I can't get into the book pages on my Chromebook.
The book pages. So if you look, they're right here. It's a PDF, recycling water.
I know I clicked on that, but it doesn't.
Okay. So what comes up when you do?
We could have her share her screen, maybe.
Okay. I could also try emailing it to her. Sometimes we do have that.
That's what you had to do last time.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Can you give me a minute, Sunny, to ask a couple other or find a couple other questions, and then I will do that immediately so that you can have that.
We have Evie, and I saw Charlie had his hand up, but it's not up anymore. I don't know if he still has a question. Evie
Okay.
and Charlie.
Abby?
So when I tried to chat with Mrs. Aubin, it says that Mrs. Aubin, you cannot chat with Mrs. Aubin during this meeting.
Okay. Do you have a
I
question?
have my class. It looks like, so I'm chatting with Gabe and Lucas, but that's weird. You know, yeah, you're on my list though.
Well, Abby, can I help you?
Like Abby, earlier she couldn't chat with Mrs. Aubin, and then now I can't chat with
Okay,
Mrs.
but
Aubin.
if you just tell me what you need, we don't need to chat. So can you tell me what you need? Would that be okay?
It was just that, like, I can't chat to Mrs.
Okay.
Aubin for the
All right.
option.
Well, all right. Well, see, can you chat with me? Does it work for me? Does it allow you to chat with me? I mean,
Let's chat with you, but it doesn't let you chat with Miss Aubin.
okay. All right. Well, go ahead and in a minute when I'm not sharing my screen and everything, and if people are working, I will.
I can chat with Miss Aubin. I can't chat with either of you.
Okay. All right. Well,
Same.
we'll just try to do our best. We'll just do our best. Miss Serenay, do you have a question? Unmute, my friend.
I was getting back to the Zoom so I could unmute.
Oh, good.
But when I go to my thing, I didn't see what where the pages were, and I tested the water around the world slide and the blue paper thing, and the blue one doesn't work. It doesn't let me in.
Okay, it's okay. So it sounds like you and Sunny, I need to send it to your email. All right. As there, and so do you know how to get to your email, Serenay?
No.
Okay. So Mrs. Aubin and I can help you with that as well. Anybody else that cannot open?
Charlie Carr.
Okay, Charlie Carr. Charlie, you have to unmute, sweetie. There you go. Okay.
I wasn't raising.
All right. Do
Okay,
you have?
sorry.
No worries. You're all good. All right. Anybody else? Can everybody click on the recycling water page for me? And if there's anybody else who can't seem to access that, will you double check that for me so that I can send it to you as well? If there's anybody who's having trouble with that. Writer's giving me a thumbs up that he's okay. Guys, can you give me a thumbs up if you can click on and make sure that you can get the page? Thank you, Max Fox. Thank you, Logan. Thank you, Robert. All right. Can everybody double check that they can open that up and make sure that they can see it? And then I'll send it to my friends who can't seem to get it. Thank you, Nixon. Thank you, Josh. This Lyric, is it working for you? All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. Oh, Miss Abby, I need to send it to you as well. All right. Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. Paxton, you tried to open it. It's not opening for you. Okay. So I need to send it to you in your mail. Okay. Anybody else?
Gavin has his hand up.
All right, Mr. Gavin, you have your book, so luckily you don't have to worry about it. But Mr. Gavin, what can I do for you?
I finished the test.
Okay. Well, Mrs. Aubin will have to check on it for you before you go anywhere. Hold that thought.
Check right now.
And Miss Lila Maris, what can I do for you?
So I can't chat with you or Miss Aubin.
Okay, no worries. Just go ahead and talk to us. That's fine. So did everybody click on, if you click on Google Form, it'll give you the test. And you can start answering those questions. If you pull up both of them.
Mrs. Harrison, I have, Gavin did fine, but I need Jensen and Ben and Ethan to do it again.
Okay, can you list, so list those friends again?
Jensen.